Hello and welcome back to the Quarantine Cricket Championship. I'm Brian Jackson, and this is day 5 of the first Ashes Test between England and Australia. Australia leading by 277 runs, and there will be no messing around today. I intend to bat for about an hour, try to get the lead up around 350, and then declare and bowl England out. Matthew Wade, of course, 73 not out now. He's been essential, and he's joined at the crease by skipper Tim Paine. Opening the bowling today for England, Ben Stokes, of course, dismissed pretty much all of our top order yesterday. Pick of the bowlers. But England, you'd have to say they're up against it. They still need 5 wickets, and they'll need to score incredibly quickly if they're going to chase down the total. A draw very much still on the cards when you look at how much time's left in the match. But the pitch is favouring the bowlers, so the Australians will be confident that they can bowl England out on day 5. Paine plays that one to mid-on for a single, so fairly quiet start. It's only the first couple of overs. Australia moved to 5 for 286. Stokes bowling to Paine, who isn't a noted slogger, but he's got a job to do. Pretty aggressive field given the circumstances. They've got a couple of slips in there and a short leg. Just one from it, so I'm actually going to look to be even more aggressive, just because time is limited and we have a few wickets in hand. The England bowlers have started pretty well though. And Paine just unable to get him away. Takes the single. And again, just one from it. So, bit of a disappointing start for Australia. Paine, no need to be leaving those. Might have to raise the aggression even further. I don't know what they're waiting for though. No need to be leaving those, Paine. Your wicket doesn't matter. And again, he's not giving Wade much of the strike either, which is really frustrating. Particularly when Wade's playing like that. So, sorry, Paine, you're going to have to sacrifice whatever innings you were trying to build to try and get something going for the team. Now it appears to be more like it. Should come back for 3. Good result. So the England bowlers settling in pretty well here, not giving Australia too much, but third man region is vacant. They'll come back for 2. Throw comes in from the deep, and they get home pretty safely in the end. It's well fielded in close to the bat, but they managed to get a single there. So the score now 5 for 299 as Stokes continues to Wade, and he beats the bat. So the dangerous Ben Stokes, troubling Wade. Yeah, again, I think I might just have to go all out with the aggression. As Wade brings up the 300 for Australia with a well executed late cut. And again, through the offside field, beautiful cover drive, 4 runs. So 8 from that over. It's now 5 for 307. The lead is past 300, which was my target at the start of the innings. But given the way we batted yesterday, I think 350 would have been what I was hoping for today. It doesn't look like we'll get that far. But it also would be nice to see Matthew Wade bring up a century, as I believe he's just moved on to 90. Payne pulls that for 1. Wade happy to block that one. Stuart Broad's bowled pretty well this morning, must be said. That's just a loose full toss. Payne plays that well, can't find the gap though. It's now 5 for 312. And probably looking at 4 or 5 more overs before the declaration comes. Can't get that one away. Jimmy Anderson now into the attack. Surprising. Well, not really, given the way they've used him throughout the match. But Stokes is bowling pretty well, I thought. And Anderson just not giving Matthew Wade anything here. They'll get a single to third man. Anderson bowls to Payne, who goes to smash it down the ground, ends up edging it off the inside edge for 4 runs. Still take that. And yeah, I'm going to look to up the ante even further, and it hasn't worked. Matthew Wade, clean bowled. Probably could have allowed him to get his century, but 92. Probably should have sent in Stark there, but may as well let Cummins have a crack. Pulls that away for 1. So, lead of 320 should suffice. Oh, and what a shot from Tim Payne. Glorious cricketing shot, straight down the ground for 4. Not taking the single. Oh, and he beats the bat. Just down the leg side there from Broad. And beats the bat once again. So, yeah, look. Might throw caution to the wind here for probably 2 more overs, I'd say. Try and get that lead to 320. Or more than that, it's now 318. Oh, and has that caught the edge? Yes, it has. So, I'm actually going to give Mitchell Stark a crack, just because he's so explosive with the bat. See what he can come up with. Just a single there. Of course, one thing I'm hesitant to do is declare when England still have a target they can chase down. Because if you look at their batting lineup, Roy, Bairstow, Curran, that's the end of Stark. And to be honest, that'll be the end of the innings. We lead by 320. No use having Cummins and Lyon out there batting. So I'm going to end the Australian innings at 8 for 326. Highlights: Matty Wade 92, Burns 85 and a half century for Warner. Pick of the bowlers, Stokes. And now that leaves England needing 321 with probably about 75 overs left in the match. So it'll be Mitchell Stark to Rory Burns. Here we go. Oh, is that out? First ball? No, missing off. Gee, pretty good start for the Australians. And fires in full and straight. Great fast bowling from Stark. But Burns is away. Gets down the other end with a single. The Centurion in the first dig. Oh, and he's clean bowled him. Jason Roy, first ball. Don't know what he was trying to do. I'm watching that again. Look at this. What sort of a shot is that? It's full and on the stumps. He tries to play a cover drive, and obviously he's clean bowled. So early wicket for Australia. It's 1 for 1. Would you believe it? Johnny Bairstow, the new man, gets off the mark straight away with a single. And I'm actually getting the feeling that England are looking to attack here and chase down this total, which I would be surprised about, as Hazlewood starts with a good delivery. Yeah, Bairstow down the ground for 4 in just the second over. So it doesn't look like they'll settle for a draw here, England, which may be to their detriment when you look at what happened to Jason Roy, trying to heave one through the offside first ball. Fired up Mitchell Starc, steaming in. But, you know, England do have an explosive batting lineup, as I mentioned. So, 1 for 6. Burns moves the score to 7. And from an Australian perspective, it's obviously just a matter of taking the wickets as soon as possible. Taking 2 in this hour before lunch would be ideal, as Starc just beats the bat of Rory Burns. Close calls early. But it is a big ask to take 10 wickets in under a full day's cricket, even on a pitch that's highly favourable to the bowlers. It's Bairstow pushes that for 1. But Australia, I'm backing this bowling attack to get things done and take the lead in the Ashes. Of course, 24 points up for grabs in the Quarantine Cricket Championship. If this match ends in a draw, 8 points apiece. As Hazlewood finishes the over, it's 1 for 9. Starc into his third over, bowling to Bairstow, who drives that through the offside for 1. And having said that they're looking to play aggressively, Burns does look very patient out there. Although they're not exactly giving him anything to get away either. It's been a good start for Australia, as he plays an expansive drive there. Man in the deep cuts it off, just the single. And after 5 overs, England are 1 for 11. So in terms of the bowlers, I believe all 3 of our quicks can get the job done, but on this day 5 track, turning a lot, Nathan Lyon will be huge. You'd expect him to bowl a majority of the overs from one end, probably after tea when the ball's gotten a bit older, quicks is tiring out. But it's been a good start from Hazlewood and Starc. It remains 1 for 11. Starc bowling to Bairstow. And a bit short, pulls it away, only as far as the fielder. And England happy to rotate the strike, taking quick singles. Good leave by Bairstow. That's the end of the over, 1 for 13. As Hazlewood now continues to Burns. Didn't have the best first innings with the ball, Josh Hazlewood, so he'll be hungry for some wickets here. He started economically. And Australia's been pretty good in the field so far as well. They've cut off a few would-be boundaries. And a no ball there. Careless from Hoff. And a good recovery. So it remains 1 for 15. I'm actually going to introduce Pat Cummins here, see what he can get going. It's been a long test match, so all of the quick bowls will probably be slightly more fatigued than they were at the start of the match. Shorter spells in the second innings may be a good idea, as they sneak home for 1. Just 2 from the over. It's now 1 for 17. Joshy Hazlewood to bowl 1 more. He's kept things tight at this end. Well bowled and well played. Oh, and he hits it straight back at him. There was no need for that shot from Jonny Bairstow. And Hazlewood, quick thinking, takes the catch. Bairstow on his way for 10. And England are now 2 for 17. Just gifting Australia the wicket there. Got to be happy with that. I don't know what Bairstow was thinking. His patience must have just run out. So England now in a bit of trouble. Lost 2 early wickets. And you'd have to imagine that the only option for them now is to play for the draw, which is entirely possible. There's not that much time left in the match. But 2 early wickets does hurt. However, these two put on a massive partnership in the first innings, Burns and Root, and the skipper will be hoping to do a job for his team. Lots of responsibility resting on his shoulders as the wicket taker Hazlewood continues. Root manages to get off strike. And Burns has been patient to his credit so far. Not many loose shots. Just 1 from the over, 2 for 20. Root flicks that off his pads for no run. Cummins drops short and Root goes bang down the ground for 4. It's well played. Cummins reacts immediately, bowling a Yorker, at least an attempted one, and another one. So England 2 for 24, and with 9 minutes until the lunch break, we're going to see the first of Nathan Lyon. We'll have a couple of overs, you'd think, to conjure up something on this day 5 track. Pretty good spinning conditions. He bowled well in the first innings. Moeen took wickets as well. On the rare occasions he was given a bowl. Two men in close to the bat on the leg side and a slip in place. So if Burns edges it, you'd expect him to be gone. However, he's negotiated Lyon well so far. 5 careful dots, and a single to finish the over. England now 2 for 25. As Cummins bowls to Burns, who shoulders arms, lets it through to Tim Paine. Cummins, not a big wicket taker in the first innings. I think he only got the one. But his talent is undeniable. He'll be a major player for Australia in this series as Root gets a leading edge through the gap for 4. Looking a little shaky out there, the skipper. And it'll be Nathan Lyon to bowl the last over before lunch. Rory Burns on strike. No run. The pressure building on the England batsman. 3 balls to come. Burns gets down the other end, so it will be Joe Root to face the last 2 balls of the session, you'd think. Leaves that one. So the last ball of the first session of day 5 is a dot ball. So England head into the break looking very shaky at 2 for 31. Burns is stuck around, but the top order not too sharp. Wickets to Stark and Hazlewood, and it'll be those two who start things after the break, I would think. I'm going to actually have Stark going around the wicket because I believe that's how Root was dismissed in the first innings. Another thing I might consider is bringing the field in a bit more, being more aggressive, because it doesn't look like England is going to take this on and play for the win, although that could change. I could be wrong. Burns looking to play shots, actually, so who knows what they're trying to do. 9 from the first over after lunch. It's now 2 for 40 as Josh Hazlewood returns. Bowling to Rory Burns, who absolutely hammers that through the offside for 4. No messing around, Rory Burns. And he plays that into the gully region for a single. So I spoke too soon. It looks like they're batting for the win. Very interesting when you consider they needed 290 at the start of this session from 60 overs. I guess that's a one-day chase, but they're risking a lot if they go 1-0 down in this series. Stark to Root. Squares him up. Root gets through for a single. Of course, the onus is on Australia to take these 8 wickets. Not much use in reducing the flow of runs unnecessarily. It's alright if they go for it. Probably works to our advantage, provided the bowlers stay on top of things. So, tidy over from Stark, 2 for 50. Hazlewood to Burns. And after a flashy start from England after the break, things have slowed down a touch and last over in a bit. Hazlewood getting his line right for the most part. That one was a bit wayward. Burns happy to defend. Gets that away for a single to end the over. It is 2 for 51. And Burns finds the gap. Won't go all the way. They should get back for 3. Throw comes in from the deep. And the batsmen are home. Here's that one straight to the fielder for 1. I can't get a read on what England is trying to do here. My instinct tells me they're playing to win. But they're also maintaining just enough strength in defence that it makes me question it. 5 from that over. It's now 2 for 56. Hazlewood will have another one to Burns. And Hazlewood proving difficult for the batsman to get away. He's trapped him on the pads, maybe pitching outside leg. Yes, my instincts were correct there. Burns has had many close calls this match, must be said. But he's been one of England's most effective batsmen. Hazlewood bowls to Root, just 1 from that over, 2 for 57. And Stark continues. Plays that nicely along the ground, no run. Can't get that one through the field either. That one's too full. Burns takes the single. No run off the last ball. It's 2 for 58. Give Hazlewood one more. He's bowled well. Oh, and he's clean bowled him. Bowled him around his legs. Rory Burns has played all around that, and after a strong start, he departs for 33. The partnership is broken, perhaps crucially, and England are 3 down, with Stokes coming out to the crease and hitting a boundary off his first ball. Would you believe it? Very eventful scenes here at, I presume this is at Lord's. But the important thing for Australia this over is that they dismissed Rory Burns, breaking the partnership and bringing out an unsettled batsman. So I'm going to throw the ball to Nathan Lyon here, see what he can conjure up to Root and Stokes. Probably England's best 2 batsmen at the crease, you'd have to say. Moeen may be a shout when you consider how glorious his technique is, but he doesn't have the average that Stokes and Root do. Stokes is having no trouble so far. Hopefully there's no flashbacks to Headingley in the real series between these 2 sides last year. It does go to show what a match winner Stokes can be when he gets on top of the bowlers. And he's looking to be aggressive today as well. So England 3 for 67 with 1 ball left in the over. Stokes pushes that one back to Nathan Lyon for a dot ball. So the wicket taker Hazlewood continues. England's still requiring over 250 runs. So you'd expect that a draw would be the best and most likely positive outcome for them at this stage. They're playing pretty aggressively though for a team that's trying to save a test match. And Stokes gets that one through for a single. It's 3 for 69. No run there. I might look at having Lyon go around the wicket to Stokes. I can't remember if that was how he got him out in the first innings. The current strategy's going alright though. No need to fix what's not broken at the moment. As Stokes happy to let that one through. And getting that one through the infield for 4. So England move to 73 as Pat Cummins will be reintroduced into the attack. Hasn't been his most impressive test match up to this point, but he can make himself a hero with a strong bowling performance in this second innings. Just leaking a few runs here though. Not that it matters too much at this stage of the match. Stokes defends that one. And plays that to the point region for a single. So England 3 for 78. Nathan Lyon to continue to Ben Stokes. It does appear that they're making more of an effort to save the match. But they're not totally shutting up shop either, which is promising for the Australians. As Lyon beats the bat, just passes the outside edge of Ben Stokes. Encouraging signs once again. And Stokes probably happy to get down the other end. Root seemed to play that pretty early, but gets away with it. 3 for 79. Cummins bowls to Stokes. A bit short, a bit straight. Survives with the dot ball, but not that time. Much better delivery, but Stokes doesn't agree. Belts that through the offside for 4. Oh, and he's hit him on the pads, and probably just missing leg stump. Yep, struck outside the line, comfortably missing leg. But it's good to see the Australians still creating opportunities. They haven't let these batsmen settle. Stokes has been having a lot of the strike, particularly off the bowling of Lyon. And he makes good use of it there. 4 runs. Good shot. Lyon, he has looked pretty good over the wicket, it must be said. I'm happy with this angle to Stokes, even if it does result in a few boundaries. You'd say that's probably inevitable with a player like Ben Stokes. Gets that one away nicely as well. So 8 coming from that over, pretty expensive. England now 3 for 92. Has Root looking to attack Cummins there. Can't get him away. Gets that one past the fielder though. Just a single. And Stokes flicks that one nicely for 1. Cummins has been too straight quite frequently, must be said, to both batsmen. 3 from the over. Score ticks along to 95. And I do have a lot of faith in Nathan Lyon to get the job done in this situation. Turning track, day 5. He's in good form from the first innings. As yet, unable to get the job done in terms of taking a wicket, but he hasn't been far away. And Root hasn't been able to get him away. That's not a good delivery though, and it allows Root to take off some of the pressure. So England, with that single, now move up to 100 in their second innings. Still need over 200 to win. You wouldn't imagine they'd get there. But these two are starting to put together a bit of a partnership. And the singles are starting to come easier. Oh, and it flies off the inside edge for 4. Cummins will be disappointed, but it's good bowling. Probably earns himself another over with that, as Lyon continues from the other end. Another couple of wickets in this session, and Australia will be right on top. But England do bat deep, of course. It's one of their strengths. Tries to flick that through the onside, doesn't get it away. And a maiden over from Lyon comes to an end. It's 3 for 105. So I'm going to give Cummins one more because of how threatening he's looked, to Stokes in particular. But Stokes gets off strike. Root taking the defensive route. Probably the smart thing to do at this stage of the game, preserving wickets. Theoretically, they could still mount a final session charge as Stokes top edges that one for 4. So pretty lucky again there, Ben Stokes. It's now 3 for 111. Cummins unfortunate not to get the breakthrough in that spell. I might give him one more, just because of how close he's come, depending on who's on strike, I guess. But yeah, England could still make a charge to win this if they have enough wickets left heading into the final session. But if that happens, I can just push the field back and really restrict their scoring options. So I'm not too worried about an England win. Hopefully that's not famous last words. Oh, and he's been struck on the pads again. The chances just keep coming, as Cummins will have one more to Stokes. You just feel that a wicket is not too far away for the Australians. Plays that pretty comfortably though, 1 run. Root on the defensive. In terms of the field placements, I'm happy to keep the field as it is in this session. A lot will depend on how they go about the final session of the day. If they're looking to attack, field can come back. But otherwise, if they're just looking to play out the draw, then they'll be brought in even closer. Right now, though, their balanced approach to the chase warrants a balanced approach to the field settings. Stokes is scoring at nearly a run-a-ball pace, but he's happy to block out his deliveries from line, not being overly aggressive, and as we've seen, getting more than a few lucky edges. Lyon completes another over. It's 3 for 118. Mitchell Starc to come back into the attack to Ben Stokes. He started well. Starc took the wicket of Roy in the first over. Not England's best player, but certainly a dangerous one. And Starc, I think he took 4 in the first innings. Certainly an impressive performance. And he starts pretty well there. 3 for 118. Lyon getting a little tired, but still bowling well. And Stokes, certainly the aggressor in this partnership. He's kept the runs flowing. Root has typically been happy to accumulate the dots. I've been impressed with Nathan Lyon's bowling. He hasn't given them too much, even if he's gone without a wicket so far. That's not too good. Full toss. Put away into the deep for 1. It's 3 for 122. That's Starc. Bowls to Root. Probably should have him going around the wicket. Pretty dangerous at that angle. They sneak home for a single. Stokes still looking to attack, which is interesting. As we draw pretty close to the tea break, actually. Oh, and that's looks like it's gone off the inside of the pad. Root will scamper home for 2. Leg buys. So, score still ticking along. And with 15 minutes to go, I'll keep Lyon on, I think. He's bowled well without reward. And you just think the way Stokes is going about this, chances will come. Defends that one comfortably. And once again, maiden over. It's 3 for 126. I'll have Stark coming around the wicket to Root. Pushes that one for no run. And the England batsman looking content to survive until the tea break, not doing anything loose. And another maiden. So 3 for 126. Line to Stokes. Probably 2 or 3 overs before tea. And the scoreboard remaining still for the time being. Not able to get anything away. And a third consecutive maiden. 3 for 126. And I'm bringing the field up. The amount of pressure that's been applied, will I regret it? Stokes can't get that one through the field. But he can get that one away. Picks out the gap at fine leg. 4 runs. Good shot. And the last ball of the session brings up Stokes' half century. So certainly an impressive innings. And heading into the final session of the test match, England have 7 wickets in hand and require 186 to win. So I'd say a draw is the most likely outcome, but all 3 results still on the table, as Hazlewood will start the session to Root. That session was disappointing from an Australian perspective. Taking 7 wickets in the last 2 hours of the match is a difficult ask, but not impossible. Hazlewood has bowled well, and England basically need to score at a run a ball for this entire session if they're going to win. I don't imagine that they'll go for it, as that brings another over to a close, making that required run rate even higher. Stark bowls to Stokes. Tries to get that one away, can't do it. Handy single. So, again, you'd imagine a draw is what's most likely, but I'm somewhat surprised that Stokes in particular hasn't come out of the blocks more aggressively, trying to win this match here and now. 185 needed off about 28 overs, maybe a couple more. As Stokes works that one for a single. Root picks the gap well. Should come back for 2. Three from the over. It's 3 for 139. As Stark continues to Stokes. Who finds the gap. Well played. 4 runs. And I might actually look at putting the field back to Stokes and seeing how he fares with that, as he's been scoring pretty quickly, it must be said, and he's certainly settled into his innings. Root able to find a single as well. And this could be tight. No, they get home comfortably in the end. 3 for 146. So let's try this to Stokes. See what he does when the scoring presumably isn't so easy. Well, he's managed to pick the gap anyway, straight down the ground. Comes back for 2. Happy to let that one through. Oh, it's that out. It's hit him on the pads and he's given him. So the big wicket of Ben Stokes, the 63, is taken by Josh Hazlewood. And we're going to have to be aggressive here, put the field in close for Ollie Pope, the youngster. But that is a huge wicket in the context of this match. England now 4 down for 148. And Australia, who looked unlikely to snatch the win, now they might just have a sniff. With that said, time is running out pretty quickly for something miraculous to happen, and Root has played that comfortably down the ground for 4. Oh, and he's found the gap as well through the onside. Textbook pull shot, 4 runs. So Stark getting a little expensive here. Might be time for him to have a spell, as they're coming through for a single and they get there. So Pope gets down the other end. Wow, what a start to the Quarantine Cricket Championship. It's all coming down to this final session of the match. 90 minutes left in the day's play. All 3 results still on the table, although England aren't playing like a team who's going for the win. Root is. He's smashed that through the onside for 4. Good shot. And we're going to see some more of Pat Cummins. To the new batsman Ollie Pope. That's a pretty wild start. Well fielded though. Joe Root, the key man at the crease. Just think if he disappears in the next over or 2, Australia will be very much in the game. As Pope runs through for a single. 4 for 162. England now need 159 to win. But I don't think time will permit that. Oh, does Hazlewood beast the bat again? Oh boy. There have been plenty of close calls. Not much can be said, as Hazlewood completes another maiden. The score still 162. And it does look like England are trying to lock things down. Every time I say that, Joe Root hits a 4. Wow. Oh, and he goes again and he finds the gap. I have no idea whether they're trying to win this or not. Whatever they're doing, it's been a good performance from Joe Root, who plays that aggressively as well. So 9 from that over, bringing the target down to 150. Hazlewood gets another over. He's been on fire in the second innings. Root takes the single. So Pope still unsettled, you'd say. And not really the experienced figure you'd want in a time like this, but he could make a name for himself if he survives the match, or better yet, wins it for England. As Cummins continues to root, he doesn't risk the single. And happy to leave that one. Can't get a hold of that one. But does manage to get that away for a single to square leg. Oh, so another over comes to an end. An hour and 9 minutes left, and we're going to see some more of Nathan Lyon. Day 5, this is his time to shine. Neatly played by Root. Pretty wild delivery, and Pope takes full advantage. So not a good start from Lyon to the new batsman. Oh, this could be close. No, probably at the wrong end. Oh, and Root plays an interesting shot there, but it pays off. 4 more. Oh, and he heaves that for 6. Wow, he's just gone bang. Nathan Lyon into the attack and absolutely demolished by Joe Root. And he picks the gap again. So at this point, I'm willing to conclude that they're just going for the win. Field back to Joe Root. Field slightly back to Ollie Pope. And that beats the bat. So things heating up here in the first Ashes test. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's edged and he's gone. Pat Cummins gets the breakthrough just when Australia needed it. Ollie Pope caught for 7. Didn't really get going, and he's on his way. Oh, and he's been struck on the pads, well outside the leg stump. First ball, Sam Curran. So, just when you thought England was starting to get on top of things, another wicket falls, and Pat Cummins produces an excellent over of fast bowling there. We're going to have Lyon to Curran and field back to Joe Root. We'll see what that does. With just over 1 hour left in the test match. It would be a memorable Australian victory if they can somehow manage to take 5 wickets. But that man Joe Root, what a thorn in the side of Australia. In both innings actually. As Curran lets that one through. Just one from the over. So the pressure back on England in no time whatsoever. Wow. Oh, and Root's found the gap. Would you believe it? Not the best fielding from the Australians. And he's Root moving ever closer to that elusive Test 100. Oh, and he beats the bat yet again. Pat Cummins. Hasn't been his best match, as we've said, but he has stood up in this spell as England move the score to 200 now. Well defended. So 121 to win in under an hour of cricket. You wouldn't imagine that that's going to happen. But 5 wickets is also a difficult ask. Basically a wicket every 3 overs. Even less time than that. So Lyon had better get something going. Comfortably blocks that. Time ticking away. And Root goes down the ground. Poor delivery and put away. So Joe Root looking like he's having no issues whatsoever with this match situation. He's now on 86. You can never back Joe Root to make a century, but he certainly looks like he's deserved one. And as the minutes tick down, oh, he's been hit on the pads. Did it pitch in line? No. Oh boy, that's close. So, look, we're just going to have to go for it. England's not really a chance at winning this, you'd think. It's Lyon bowls to Root, dot ball. Gets down the other end. So Sam Curran, can he be there at the end? Five men in close to the bat. Pressure on. Can't get it away. Just one from the over. So Cummins is dead tired. We're going to bring back Stark. And at this point, as I've said, we've just got to go for it. Take the wickets if possible, wherever possible. Let the runs flow, if that's what it takes. But Root staying patient. I might actually target the stumps just to make sure that they're playing shots. Probably not with Nathan Lyon bowling though. And I'm happy to keep the fields. I guess it should be a bit closer for Root, get him playing. Wouldn't mind seeing him hole out into the deep though. And Nathan Lyon, he has been disappointing in this innings after a strong first innings performance. Just hasn't taken wickets. Did that catch the edge? Oh boy. No, it didn't. But gee, it's close. And the pressure just mounting on these England batsmen, but they're still there. Root plays a nice sweep shot. And Curran happy to take the strike. So that's 5 for 211. 34 minutes left. Mitchell Starc to bowl. And I presume that's what it means to target the stumps. Probably go full as well. Let's just see what it's doing. Come through for a single. Just need to get them playing shots, and that's the thinking behind this strategic move. Even if there's a few loose ones like that. Well fielded. Limits it to 1 run. And just 2 from the over. So the draw looking on, bringing the field up even closer. I don't care what sort of shots they play or how many runs are conceded at this point. It's all about taking those wickets. But it's essentially 1 wicket per over that's required now. So the game looks to be slipping away from the Australians. These two have handled the bowling well, especially Joe Root. And Curran gets that through the field for 4. That's what you'd expect. Got 6 men in close to the bat. So there's runs to be had. But for now they survive. 27 minutes left. Starc to Curran. This will probably be Starc's last over, and then I'll throw it over to Josh Hazlewood. Oh, he struck him on the pads, going down leg it looks like. Oh boy, there's been some close calls. This Root gets that away for 1. And Curran gets 4. Another over passes by. And yeah, this might be the last over for Lyon as well, if he can't strike. Bring on Cummins from this end. As England look to get home to safety, if we had more time, I would have backed us to bowl them out. But that's not Test cricket. Well played by Curran. That's 4. He's been good with bat and ball. Bit wayward from line. So, yeah, I'm going to look at Josh Hazlewood. Yeah, let's just see what's doing. 20 minutes left, probably 5 overs. 5 wickets. Wouldn't that be something? As far as what could have been done better in this chase for Australia, It's hard to know captaincy-wise. I played it maybe a bit too conservatively in the second session. But look, Nathan Lyon, 20 overs, no wickets. You'd look at that as a major weakness. And I'm going to do something a bit unorthodox and throw the ball to Steve Smith and just see if he can conjure up any magic. If anyone's going to do it, it would be him. Root comfortably negotiates that one though. So yeah, at this point the draw pretty much assured. Both teams have some positives to think about, particularly in terms of batting. Steve Smith, the star for Australia, Matthew Wade and Travis Head, Joe Burns, all making 70 plus, Dave Warner with a 50, so it's really only Marnus Labuschagne who didn't perform for Australia. In England, it's really been Burns and Root and Stokes that have done the damage. And Smith bowls to Root, 6 from the over, doesn't matter too much. 3 overs left, alright. Well, Root's on 99. Let's see. It'd be nice if we could dismiss him before making a ton. That'd be something positive to carry into the next test. Another LBW shout. Interesting run. Would have been great if Root was run out on 99. But he has deserved a century, must be said. And there it is. Captain's knock. Well and truly. He looks primed for a big series, unfortunately for us. So 2 overs left. Steve Smith to Sam Curran. Oh, that has to be out. He's hit him on the pads and he's been given. So Steve Smith into the attack and into the wickets, bringing Moeen Ali to the crease. 6 for 246. And with 8 minutes left in the test match, now 7, Australia 4 wickets away. Nine deliveries left. A chance for a miracle win. Slipped away long ago, really, but bit of hope there with the wicket of Curran. And Moeen plays that well. So, last over, Josh Hazlewood, he's been the pick of the bowlers, so he gets it. 4 wickets, can it be done? Fuel is going right up. And let's see. No. Oh, could there be a run out? 4 wickets from 5 balls. No, he plays that well. Good ball. This is it. Oh, he plays it aggressively, but in the end, he gets through for a single, and the match will be a draw. At least we didn't know until the last over. That adds some excitement to things. And overall, it was a pretty entertaining test match to start this test championship. It had a bit of it all. So there we go. The match is a draw. Wow. So in terms of this final England innings, Joe Root 104 not out, making his 17th Test 100. Well played to him. Stokes helped out a lot as well. And in terms of the bowlers, Hazlewood was good. Cummins bowled well. Stark had periods of good bowling. Nathan Lyon very disappointing, and Steve Smith with the wicket at the end. And Steve Smith is our man of the match, of course, for his 175 not out and late wicket, of course. So heading into the second test match, the series is still tied 0-0. Oh boy, this is tense. And in terms of the Quarantine Cricket Championship standings, both teams will be on 8 points at the end of this match. So not really advancing their interests in that sense, but this is the Ashes, and there's still a lot to play for. So thank you very much for watching this first test match. I'm Brian Jackson. The next episode, we will be starting the second Ashes test between England and Australia. So see you then.